What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest Live Show. Hold up one sec. Is that a graham cracker?
Yeah. And coffee.
What's up, Manny?
What's going on, Ryan? What's up to everyone out there? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Usual me, tired. We didn't have a show last week. Everybody's like, man. What's going on? What's going on? I was like, you know what? I need a day. This is where we are in life. Like, there's so much going on with me right now. I'm like, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. So I miss you guys.
Yeah, man, we miss you too. It's funny. I was just like, it's Thursday, and I'm like, there's something that I have to do today. It's Thursday. I'm like, what is it that I have to do? And I was just like, man, there's no show today. I'm like, shoot, what do I do now?
Hey, a lot of guys are like, everything okay? Are you still doing the show? And I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, man. Like it's a different time right now for me. So
how's the shop coming along, man? I see you doing big
tomorrow,
things over there.
Tomorrow we're doing the update officially because we got the couple things that I wanted to get before I did the second update. So we're gonna do a live update tomorrow. It's getting there. I'm getting excited. Like tonight, Mikey and I did a couple things before we came home, and he's like, "It's getting there." I'm like, "It is. It is."
And it's probably like those little things you could wait, but it's also you can't wait to see it on or to see the shop coming together.
Yeah, and it's, there's a lot of moving parts with dealing with multiple contractors, multiple projects, COVID. It's. Oh yeah, just freaking. You call about stuff because you're like, oh, I'm gonna wait a little while to get the internet set up because I don't want to pay for it. And then they're like, oh, by the way, you're not gonna get it till February. And you're like, okay.
You know what? We need to start using COVID for our own benefits. Just like
you know what?
Like when clients says like, how much? It's like, yeah. COVID. Sorry.
I had a conversation. Who was it? Oh man, it was John Dance. He called. Somebody tagged me on social media about Google My Business, and I called him. He sent me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I just called him because I'm like, it's way easier to talk to you than explain this. So we're talking, and he's like, this is the craziest thing, right? The craziest thing is like people, you call contractors, they don't answer your phone call, they don't call you back. And it's okay, right? Yeah. And he's like, it's the craziest thing right now is we'll call customers back, and they're like, thank you so much for getting back to me. It's like the easiest sale at that point. Like you've already got them on the phone, and they're like, thank you so much for calling me back. And I'm like, yeah, bro, this is our job. This is how this works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
isn't it like a typical thing? Like typical dent guys don't always answer their phones. Is it a thing?
True that.
Yeah.
True that. I have a competitor locally that is not good at answering the phone. Like and he's been running his business like that for a long time, and he's okay.
Well, it's funny. I remember being in the shop. I would call my dent guy, and I would just say, hey, I got this car. It's going to be here to Tuesday. I'll see you here. And I wouldn't even expect his phone call back. I just expect him to just show up, and that was our way of communicating. And so to me, for a long time, I always felt that, thank guys don't always answer their phone.
But see, I get it. I get this kind of that same scenario from some of my body shop estimators. I get buried. Do you ever feel like when you're working, you'll get 13 phone calls, 13 text messages in the same 10 minutes, and then nothing for the rest of the day, and you're like, and you have trouble catching up. Did I get back to this person? Did I not get back? So some of my estimators, I don't even respond, and they don't even worry about it because they know I'm going to show up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's cool, man.
But so, what's new in the Manny world besides?
Check it out.
Slaying dents.
We got the competition.
The Tiger King hair going on now.
It's my competition hair, man. Getting ready to go out and
I don't
compete.
know. I mean, Alex is coming for you again.
He ain't coming. he's gonna do whatever it takes not to show up. Take the wrong flight, schedule the wrong hotel.
I don't know. Miromax is in here. He's a threat.
Oh yeah, watch out with Mito.
Yeah.
Hey, Mito. Yeah, man. So everyone out there getting ready for MTE or what?
Hey, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to dye my hair.
That'll be fun. I'll pay for that.
My wife would love it. Me, a little blonde Irish guy coming out there. It'll be amazing.
Oh, your daughter would love it.
She would. So
shout out to Dave in the house.
How's business overall?
You know, it's crazy, man. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Booked. I mean, MTE, it's in what, 2 weeks? So that whole week, I'm not working, right? So taking like the first couple of days, hanging out. First of all, Monday is my normal day off. I'm going to take it off. Tuesday, just spend time with the family. And then Wednesday, fly out. So that third week, I'm gone. This week, I'm booked out. Next week, I only have like 2 openings. Otherwise, I'm booked out. So what I'm trying to tell you is like, man, like I'm grateful, thankful, but I literally have to be working with my doors closed right now because I can't afford to talk to clients to talk about their dents because otherwise we're looking to like February, you know? And I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if it happens to you, but I feel like clients sometimes when they come see you, just like, oh, can you fix it? It's just like, all right, when? Just like, oh, in like 3 weeks from now. It's like, what? Like they get bothered, you know?
They do. They get so pissed.
Yeah. And it's just like,
hey, there's a guy down the street that can fix it right now.
I'm sorry.
Like that's where I am. Like there's a dude down here. He can get you in right now. Well, there's a reason that we're two weeks out, 3 weeks out. There's a reason.
Yeah.
And that's me.
Yeah.
If I want to get something done and the guy's like, I can't get you for 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm just gonna wait. Because you know.
Yeah. So like giving estimates right now is just like, oh, I'm having such a tough time. Not because I can't give the estimate, but because the time to get them in the shop, it's like long from now. You know what I mean? So
and it's for me, I slowed down.
Oh, right.
January, February is always slow.
Oh, because you guys have that winter storm, right? Like,
and it's been weird. We've had 2 holidays on the weekend. We've got COVID here that is like starting over. Schools are closing, and it's just it's out of control.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, shops are wiped out. I mean, I was at a shop today. They got 27 body guys, and they have 1 guy working. They were like, "Oh, you're coming in ground zero?" And I was like, "Yep, I sure am." But
it's wild, man.
And we had 2 snowstorms. It's like it snows on Sunday and jacks up Monday the last 2 weeks, and it's coming again this week.
Oh, wow.
But I don't mind the break. That's what I said to Ashley. I was like, I'm trying to get the shop done.
Yeah.
And the clear bra stuff and the window tint and the ceramic coatings are off the hook. And I what's really weird is I'm getting calls for ceramic coatings from body shops. And I'm like, what is going, what? Okay. I guess the customer says it's ceramic coated. They get it on the estimate.
Right.
And then we get the car and coat it and give it back to them.
That's what I was going to say, because a lot of dealerships are claiming to be applying ceramic coating, right, to all the cars. So anything that's been done to it, you definitely got to redo it. But sometimes I don't even know if the ceramic coating that the dealership's putting on, it's real ceramic coating.
No. It's just it's a different type, I think.
Right. Yeah, that's what I always thought too.
So I got our weekly joke.
Oh man, can we bring in our guest so I don't look so bad?
He's missing right now.
Oh man, I need help. Who's gonna help me out on this?
Okay, we're gonna hold this. We're gonna hold this one right here.
Yeah,
he just reappeared. And the good thing about this guy, I'm excited about this one. So I've been watching him for a little while, right? And he got a shop. And I remember sitting there watching the first picture, like a before and after picture of the shop. And I was like, damn, that place looks good.
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's been following the show for a long time. I've
Yeah.
been seeing him in here commenting
Yeah.
on social media, and I was like, this is a dude that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
Let's get him on because he
Yeah.
deserves it.
I want to hear the story,
You
man.
know,
I love listening to
and you know
all
what
this
else?
stuff.
You know what else is great about this guest?
What's that?
He's got the best damn name in the PDR industry.
Yeah,
So,
you're right about that.
let's get him on here.
All right.
What's up, Ryan?
How are you guys?
Hey, Ryan.
How are you?
Good, doing great.
This is a great show.
We were just talking about you having one of the best PDR names out there.
Thanks. My kids named it.
Is that right? I was just
Yeah.
going to ask. You got to tell us a story about. You know,
I wasn't even talking about peacocks. I was talking about Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of dent guys named Ryan out there. I've been hearing that.
Well, since we're talking about your PDR name, tell us how that came about.
Okay, well, you know, I sort of went through a bunch of names with the kids. I kept rattling off names for them, and they'd be like, you know, I'd be a Precision Dents. They'd be like, nope. Whatever, Epic Dents, anything. They'd be like, nope. And then the peacocks, I just dropped peacocks on them, and they're like, yeah, perfect.
That's cool.
And I thought about it and went, okay, peacocks it is. I had nothing else, so
yeah.
You
know, I always think there is no like perfect name. There's always just unique names. You know, something that just makes you. You know what I mean?
I just wanted people to recognize it. There's a lot of dent names out there, and I just wanted people to go, peacocks. Peacocks. And I'm fine with that. And everywhere I go now, everyone's calling me, hey, Peacock, come over here, take a look at this. Everyone knows my name, you know. It's I guess I like the electrician Sparky, right?
That's it.
That's so cool, though, Ryan.
Manny needs your help with this weekly joke, so I'm going to get this going.
Okay.
Please, Ryan.
So what lion never roars? What lion never roars?
Oh. I don't know.
Don't be cheating, Manny.
Sea
Manny's
lion?
over here cheating.
Sea lion?
So what lion never roars? I can't even say it. Look at that. So I guess, you know, Manny, I'm disappointed.
No, I mean
Are you sure you're ready?
yeah, let's just
Talk it to us.
A dandelion. Look at that. Bruce Haverson got it. He got it.
Well, shout out to Bruce, man.
So she's still on it, man. She actually just got some new for Christmas, so we got some more jokes coming.
I hope they're easier ones. Tell her to grab some jokes for like babies.
Bro, she's 7 years old.
I know.
And she picked some tonight. I was like, "You got a joke for me?" She's like, "Yep, man. He's never gonna get it."
That's why I feel so bad because she's only 7 years old.
Man, he's never gonna get it.
Man.
So, where are you from? Like, where's your company from?
So I'm located in Peterborough, Ontario, which is about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half east of Toronto.
Okay.
Northeast of Toronto. So it's cold. We got snow. It's -3, -4 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my shop's located right downtown Peterborough, and it's nice. It's nice to be local, I guess, because most of the time I was driving to Toronto and coming back every day. And so now it's nice to have a local shop for retail, which is what it's all about, really.
How long have you been pushing? How did you get into it?
So I started. I wet my whistle back in 2015, and then I bought my first real set of tools in 2016, and I spent the next couple of years practicing. I never did any work for anybody. I just spent a lot of time in my living room, my apartment, and just fixing dents while listening to the radio. And every night after work, that's what I did. I turned it into my hobby.
That's cool.
And then I couldn't get anything past about 80%. And finally, I just broke down and went for training.
Okay.
And ended up going to a company called Autodent in Toronto. Okay. And they were fantastic. Marty Corral is the owner of Autodent. I went there for a week, and then I spent another 6 months on my own practicing. And then I kind of launched after that. And then I spent the next 6 months floundering. I couldn't get anywhere. And finally, after a little while, I wandered back into that shop, Autodent, and I think they just put a bowl of food down in the corner and a little blanket. And I got to hang out there for a little while. And, they were great. Marty and Joseph, who works for Marty, they were fantastic. They really helped me level up. And I know I wouldn't be pushing dents today without those guys putting in the time and giving me their time. They were great.
That's cool.
So what did you do before, if you don't mind me asking?
Mechanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I spent 17 years as a mechanic, a few years as a detailer. And then it was while I was detailing that I started pushing dents. And that was, they lend each other. Everything
Yeah. I was going to say, because I don't know if mechanic and PDR, typically you'll have a body man going to PDR or a detailer going to PDR, but that makes sense. Mechanic, detailer, then
Yeah. Well, one of the things is when you work in a garage is there's not a lot of happy people in the garage. And there's not a lot of happy mechanics. And so it's, you just want to be happy in life. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I did.
So you've always been around cars then?
Always, yeah. My whole life I've been around. I grew up on a farm, but my first job was as a mechanic or washing tires, basically, and then moving up.
The mechanical end of it probably helped you for taking cars apart.
Yeah.
Looking at that end of
just tinkering, right? Yes. Everything is like you figure it out on the fly and hurry up because you got to hurry, right?
Yeah.
So, it's definitely helped.
And the patience too, right? Just the patience itself.
Well, everything, in our industry, it's all about patience and competence. It's those two things are big for sure.
Now, you were a mobile tech for a long time, right?
Yeah. For the whole time up until about 2 months ago is when I really opened up the doors to my shop.
Oh, wow.
I was very fortunate. So in the summer, I got the shop in the late spring, early summer. And then 2 days after I got the keys, it hailed up in Toronto. And my old boss, Marty from Autodent, gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you want to come up and check out this storm?" So I went and checked it out, and it was great. They handed us a couple hundred cars. So I thought, well, you know what? My signs aren't up. I'm just going to do the hail here for the summer and slowly open the shop.
Nice.
And it worked out. Really worked out.
Put some money in your pocket. It's a good jump.
It did that. It just I didn't have to worry. I'm not concerned about making rent here for the next little while anyway. So it certainly helped out.
That's awesome.
I've got a question that I know that Manny's ready to ask. How do you feel? Do you feel like having a shop has changed you as a tech, as in some of the repairs you're taking on and how long you stay on the repair, how long the repair takes you?
Yes. Yes and no. So I think right now about 80% of my business is still mobile. I'm still going to the dealerships, body shops, and detailers. So, but when I'm at my shop, it's much more of a happy place, and I can put my music on and just take my time. And I know it doesn't matter. No one's going to lock the doors on me. So, I feel like my work is getting better, The one thing I've really noticed, actually, over the last, just noticed, was the females coming in. I never had females, women, call me up to come to their house and do a repair. It never happened. And
hope
now, all of a sudden,
hope the wife is not watching the show.
I know. But
Just
all
kidding.
of a sudden, about 40% of my retail work is female,
Oh, wow.
which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because before it was like 95, 98% male. And yeah, I didn't even advertise to females.
I have a question, Ryan. What made you open up a shop or look into a shop?
Well, I'm in Canada, so it's cold to start off with. So my mobile work, I've only got, 4 or 5 months of working outside. And after that, it's sketchy. It's really sketchy. So I wanted to shop for the winter. I need a place for retail customers to come. And then on top of that, I wanted to start charging more for retail, and being able to charge more, you need a shop. You need a space to present and to sell. So that was a big deciding factor. And it's always been a dream to have a shop.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you think that now having the shop, you're charging more, or you're charging more because now you're able to do more with the job? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not charging more per se. I'm getting larger dents in.
Yeah.
I'm getting different stuff in that I'm able to get maximum value for, rather than saying, I'll do this for a couple of hundred to make it better.
Yeah.
I'm getting more of that. So
Yeah. Because I asked that because I had a client the other day. I give him a call and he's like, wow, you're charging more now that you have a shop? I'm like, I never charge more to clients, whether they had a garage or not. I never charge more or less if they had a
Right.
big house or a little house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I always just charge by the job. But being here in the shop, I'm really taking that trim panel apart of that door off if I have to, I wouldn't do that at your driveway, so I wouldn't charge you for all that labor, but now here at the shop, that's all I'm doing, just charging you for the true labor that I'm going to spend on it, So that's why I was asking that, because to me it was just like,
it allows you to upsell. You can
does.
upsell a lot of little things and charge you can actually get a fair value for R&I that you can't get on the road. You just gotta
I really do. And Manny said this before I got the first shop. I really feel like it almost authenticates you as a real company. Do you know what I mean? Kind of it I'm trying to think of the word, but
legitimizes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just, I feel like more people now don't mind dropping cars off. Before I was kind of like, oh, well, I could do it on a Saturday, at this body shop that I work at, drop it off. They're like, oh, can you just come to me? Now it's like, if I can qualify it as a repair, because everything I still have says mobile still, because I don't want to lose that part of the business.
Yeah.
But I feel like people are just more willing to drop them off.
They definitely are. They definitely are. And those phone calls I'm getting where people are like, can I bring it over right now? And it's like, yep, 100%, bring it right now. That's the bet.
Do you find that it's helping you like in your sales, like with your client, or our clients are still like looking for mobile service?
Well, no one's looking for mobile at this time of year. So I think in spring, I'll probably run into a bit of competition with the mobile guys around, but I'm still mobile for the dealerships.
Got it.
And I'm able to sell things like come to my licensed insured shop with security, and I can sell it that way. And people, and again, going back to the female thing, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
So I can literally pay for all my rent just from the female, from the more women coming into the shop now.
Yeah.
Just from that alone. So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And do you, like you said earlier, you feel like you're taking larger damage on? But I feel like when you're there working, you're more I really feel like they're getting a better value and a better product at the end of the day. You know, instead of being in a garage, it's cold, you don't have all your tools handy, and you're working on a busted dent. Now you're in your happy place. You've got the heat on, the door's shut, nobody's bugging you, your music's playing.
Yeah.
And you can be as loud as you want to be getting this dent out. I mean, what do you feel, Manny? Do you feel like you're giving a better product at the end of the day at the shop?
You know, it's funny because I do mention that, but I always tell client, like, it doesn't mean that I wasn't doing my best job at your garage.
No.
You know, it just means this is my place. This is my environment. I feel that all of us, we all have that one place where we feel our best. You know, first, I'll say this with respect, but sometimes, you know, for some of us, it's just like, it's our car. Sometimes it's our garage. Sometimes for some of us, it's our home, our kitchen, the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, we all have that little, niche, right? Where we're our best. And I just feel that that's what the shop does for us. You know, it just fulfills that energy environment that we need to be perseverance to making a dent perfect. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just something.
Just on Tuesday, I had a car in, and I mean, it was going slow. I just wasn't moving. It wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. And I was able to call the customer and ask them to hold the car overnight, and they were fine with it. So
yeah,
I was like, perfect. I came back the next morning, finished it up surprisingly fast. And, you know, 20 minutes after I started the next morning, it's done. And I'm like, okay, I could have done that last night, I guess. But
different mindset.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a big thing with the shop. I couldn't do that when I was mobile. You know, can I come back tomorrow? No. You know,
it's sometimes you just need time like that. Like, I'm sure, like in your mechanic days, just be able to step back, analyze the situation, and, you know, give it another approach. And I feel that that's kind of like the same thing with PDR. You're like, we're working on something, just take a little break, you know, go sit down, go watch some TV, do whatever, and then you're back. I don't know. It's just the feeling. It's different. And I always say this, it's just like a lawyer needs an office, a desk to be his best, you know. A barber needs a chair and a salon to be its better. I mean, a singer needs a studio, right?
Yeah.
And an artist needs like a place where they could just draw freely, and, you know, people who do like talking, like counselor, they need that space where they just kind of like just free their mind, you know, by the beach, listening to that water. I don't know. I just feel that everyone needs that little place where they could just feel their best. And I think that's what the shop does to us, you know?
Yeah. It's a happy place.
Yeah. I think you said that right.
And I was talking to Ryan before the show, and all he kept saying is how happy you are, how lucky you are to have this space. And it was just nice to see how your emotion of, I'm so lucky, like this is a dream, you know.
Yeah.
It's a small little space, but you're at home.
Yeah.
It's my space. And I mean, it's so hard just finding a space in my town anyways. There's just nothing available. There's nothing with a roll-up door. So there's just nothing available. So it took me about 8 months just to get this place.
Nice.
And it was very, very, well, there's some stuff, but it was all 60,000 square feet or 6,000 square feet.
Yeah.
You know, just huge stuff.
I like
Now,
how
you
you
buy
have that
pack?
setup in the back, by the way, Ryan. I like how you have that setup in the back.
Thank you very much. It's pretty minimal. I mean, really all I did was paint, throw up a pegboard and a toolbox.
Nice.
The tools make it pop though. So yeah, it's my sales. So every time a customer comes, I have a routine where I don't look at their dent outside. I always roll the door up and bring them in, so that they can be in the environment. And that as soon as they come in, I've made the sale. The sale's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clean and orderly.
Yeah, for sure.
And like Ryan was saying, so how close are you to Pat?
Pat,
What's the name of Up Pro Dent?
Pro Dent. Oh, he's gonna be upset at us.
He's gonna be pissed off. I'm sorry, Pac.
Sorry, Pac.
oh, Pac is in Vancouver, I think.
Yeah.
So he's on the other side of the country.
Okay.
He's
okay.
like very far away. 3 days of driving.
Van Dent Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's on the other side. You're up.
He's
by
on
the
he's
east-
on the
east side.
west coast. I'm more middle of the country kind of.
That's right. He's on top of like Washington State. So you're
Yeah.
more towards the center down there. He's not too far away from you, Ryan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably
Terribly
close.
far.
Yeah, that's cool. So what kind of tools do you have back there? Because I'm trying to like focus in to see what kind of tools you have back there.
Some blem.
Yeah, I've got a whole collection. I mean, it's pretty much the good stuff from everybody that I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
You know, everyone sort of starts off with the basic stuff, and then you just gravitate towards what you think is going to work. And yeah, I got a lot of finesse, a lot of blem. Yeah, I'm going to grab something here.
Yeah. I see some stand liner door tools too. I need that small stand liner.
This is, yeah, I'm grabbing the stain liner. This is the, I don't know what this is called, but I simply want to grab it every time.
Really?
And it just works. There's no way to
love it. Sharp on the end?
It's pretty sharp. I guess I can just hold it like that. And no, it's got that rounded, I mean, it's sharp. You can hit those edges when you want to, but you can hit the sharp dents when you need it.
Now, you mentioned when you first, when you were practicing at your house, you bought a set of tools. What kind of tools were like your first set?
Oh, they were all Chinese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think I spent like 600 on that. I got the big set of Chinese tools.
Yeah.
Everything died. Everything bent, broke, stopped working, except my wedge, window wedge, and the glue puller, the little whatever, the mechanical glue puller there.
Yeah.
That thing, and I refused to buy a new glue puller because that thing, I spent so much money on that stupid set, and that was the only thing that survived. So I had that I've been using that for the whole time. Up until a week ago, I just got a new Kiko, whatever it is, puller. So yeah, a little embarrassed of that, but whatever. I just refused to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. It was not as good as the Kiko. The Kiko is so much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
A little mad at myself over that.
Now, do you use cold glue?
I do. I not so great at it. I kind of tend to forget I've got it more so than I use it all the time. But in the shop, I'm going to start.
And see, and that's what I was going to say. That's what the shop does too. That, you know, all these tools that you have, that sometimes you just keep them way on the back of your van or just in an area where you don't dig into so much. The shop, you have that advantage, you know, that you could almost put any and every tool into use, you know, even if you just use it once a month, you know.
Well, I've got my mobile setup, which is just a cart, and I can pick it up and slide it into the back of my RAV4.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's got everything I need for mobile stuff, and it really works out well. And so everything hanging up is just stuff I don't have on my mobile cart. And yeah, it works out. It definitely works out. I want to use more of it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple up there I think I've never used.
Are you running into like any situations where you're doing mobile and then you're like, oh, this tool that I need, it's at the shop, like, oh man, like
more preferred tools. I think, geez, I'd like that. Oh, I wish I could use that tool right now, but no, I could use this skinny little thing. But it is what it is. And because I'm more local now, I can always run back to my shop. Nothing.
I see.
Peterborough's about 70,000 population.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not too far away from anything.
Got it.
Yeah.
How about glue tabs?
Glue tabs, I'm running. Well, I started off with the gangrene, and I bought one set of the gangrene, and they lasted me forever. Yeah. And then during the hail this year, I splurged and bought myself some the Keko ice and all the good stuff.
Mm. Yeah.
Mainly for just the small tabs.
Yeah.
Pulling small hail.
I still use the gangrene. I mean, I love the gangrene crease tabs. I mean,
yeah. And those little 11 mil gangrene and 9 mil gangrene, they're fantastic. They don't quite pull quite as hard as the blue
dead centers.
Yeah, the blue dead centers, but I've always got them beside each other. So if I need that blue dead center, it's right there.
How about glue?
Glue, I use everything. Like Canada, it goes from in the shop, I'm using the gray,
tab weld,
gray tab weld, and on the road, I mean a lot of green. I know you're not going to be happy. Some pinks.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the show's over. You guys have a fantastic night.
Stop it, Ryan. You don't have that pink background just for nothing.
I do that for you.
You know you're representing the pink glue, baby.
I do that for you.
Ryan, isn't it funny? But that pink glue, I think it's underrated. Like that stuff, it works so good.
I find, well, we get such temperature swings and such humidity swings here. It's a completely different day from the morning to the afternoon to the evening. So that's why I'm switching out a lot. I've always got 2 or 3 glue guns with different glue in. And if I need it, I just switch it out through the day whenever I'm.
Do you have different glue guns with different glue, you said? Or do you have?
Yeah, I do. I just run the Ryobi glue guns. So it's not overly expensive to do that.
Is it the one that you just have different guns and use like the same battery, or is it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Ryobi, the Home Depot glue gun is all I use.
That's cool. Yeah, I have I think it's Hector from HDR. He has like 3 different glue guns, and each one has different glue because he just likes that option, that whatever glue he wants to use, just turns that gun out and starts using that.
I just got some Cam Auto. I haven't been able to try it out yet, but I'm waiting for the next. I got a big one coming in tomorrow, so I'm going to be trying that out there.
Yeah, nice. That collision glue too. That collision glue, Ryan. I'll tell you.
Is it the real deal? Yeah,
real deal.
I'm going to need it because I got bedsides coming to me up.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Do you do a lot of hail over there? You do a little bit of everything. I mean, so what's Ryan's regular day route like?
So my regular day is I generally have about at least one retail per morning, and then in the afternoons I go and take care of whatever service calls I have for an account or whatnot. But as far as hail goes in our area, we don't get much hail. Toronto gets hail about once every 4 or 5 years. They'll get a decent little hailstorm will slide through, and that's about it. And it's not heavy hail. It's light. It's always light stuff, small stuff. But the good part about this is that there's not a huge amount of technicians in my area and in the Toronto area. So when the hail does come, it's good. Like we get access to it, which is nice.
So in your area, there's not a lot of techs, you were saying.
There's definitely some other techs around. I'm not. I think there's something weird about our industry that we don't exactly befriend the techs in our neighborhood, but the technician who's a city or 2 cities over, we can be best friends with those guys.
Yeah.
But there's something weird in our industry that we're not super friendly with our next door neighbors.
Yeah. I think the industry's changing a little bit from that. I think like when I first started in 2000s, man, nobody talked to anybody. Like it was,
Yeah,
you were
right.
hidden. Now I feel like with social media, I really feel like the industry's changed to where some local techs you can build that relationship with, and it's a respect factor.
Right.
Some of them you can't, some of them just kind of keep to themselves and stay away from that type of thing, kind of old school manner. I mean, I see
Right.
Manny all the time. He's always got somebody over there. Really? I mean, you do. You got, Paul's always there.
Yeah.
You got HDR swings by. You got Alberto.
Kevin,
Yeah.
California Dents too. He comes by. Yeah, there's a few guys around. And to me it's cool because it's, when I started, for sure, I was going around shops and I would see some of the other dent guys and they were just like, they don't want to talk to me. But I've always, learned to just get along with everyone, and I figured when I first looked into paintless dent repair, I researched to see how many cars are registered in California alone, and it was just millions of cars. So I was just like, wait a minute, with millions of cars in California, even if you gather all the dent techs from California, it's still too many cars to handle, So I'm like, there's, so competition, I'm like, there's enough for all of us,
Yeah.
So
I don't think the other guys around me affect my business whatsoever.
yeah.
But I think there's just a weird psychological thing where it's like, you stay over there, I'll stay over here. And I'm sure they're good guys. I'm sure they're really nice guys. I just don't really know them. So
now, Christopher Allen's asking, do you experience the consumer's lack of knowledge of PDR?
all the time, yeah. But they're constantly learning now. So they're coming in now going, yeah, I watched these videos the other night, and I know you can do it, and it's like, yeah, boy, yeah, you watched Bryce Kelly the other night. I don't know. Yeah.
I was going to say that. Sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I feel like there's some mix nowadays, where you still have a lot of unknowledgeable clients, that they've never heard of paintless dent repair before. And you also have a lot of the ones that did all the research last night and they're just like, oh, I just just pull the dent, I know you could do it, and it's like, you can reach it from behind. I already looked. I already took it apart. You have all the access, and it's just like, there's those two balances right now. Like,
I mean, I just had a guy with a Tesla Plaid, retired, big time police officer in Baltimore, and he comes up and he's like, "Is a gnarly dent. I didn't even want to fix it. I mean, it was terrible. Lifted the edge up on the quarter to where you could fit your finger in between the quarter and the bumper. It just peeled it back. It's underneath the taillight." And he's like, I'm telling you exactly how you can fix this. I've watched your videos. You're going to glue some stuff on here. You're going to pull it. You're going to pull the interior trim out. He's like, there's a little Q pad back here. You're going to peel down and you can get all over it with your straight pick tool. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to fix your car. Like I don't even want to fix it now because you already know what we're doing. But it just amazes me how far the industry's come just in the last 3 years of people saying, can't you just glue pull that?
Yeah. Now, do you prefer the client that has done all the research like the one you just said, or do you prefer the client that has not been around PDR before?
Depends on the car. How
about you, Ryan? Ryan number 2.
It goes both ways, I guess. I guess the thing I like about people who've done the research is they know that it's going to cost a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
As opposed to the folks who haven't done the research, it's $50. Just do it.
Yeah.
So there's that, but yeah, I'm 50-50 there. 50-50.
It's definitely the car. You know, you get the Porsche, the Tesla customer. I'd rather not. You know, they've done their research. They know their car. They're going to be very, very crucial, even though the dent is gnarly. By the way, that dent came out really, really good. But I don't know. I kind of like the educated customer. You know, I had a lady today that was like, "Are you going to glue one of those on with your little special glue sticks?" And I was like, "How the hell do you know this stuff?" You know, and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." You know,
See, I don't know. I don't like, I'm kind of 50-50, like what Ryan said, because sometimes those clients that know it all is just like, they ask too many questions.
yeah.
Yeah. And then they know more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So, like, for example, how Ryan just said that, like, a client asked him, I have clients like that will say just like, so are you going to push it or are you going to glue pull it? I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, don't worry about that. Like, I'll tell you at the end what I did. But it's like, for now, I don't even know how I'm going to approach it.
yeah.
How about your customer asking you how the dent happened? How do you think this happened? Do you get those?
Yeah.
I can't speculate on it anymore. I just can't think about it anymore.
A lot of times I'm like, I think, were you at Home Depot? And she's like, I was. Shopping cart.
Now, to you guys, is it a big deal to know what happened to the dent, or you care less?
I could care less. I tend to, if it's a crease, I tend to want to think about which way the crease went in because I want to reverse it out. That's about it.
So in my years of paintless dent repair, I went to like collision repair advisor, like how to write estimates, you know, and I was trained to you got to understand how the impact happened so that you could, reverse all that energy just the same way, like you would tear down a car, everything, so that you could start from inside out, and you also have to understand what the client's expectations are, because clients have different expectations. Some clients worry more about how long you're going to take. Some clients worry more about how much you're going to charge. And some clients really worry about what's it going to take? Like, what are you going to do to their cars, So I don't know. For me, I feel like I have to know what happened. Like that's actually one of my first questions, aside from, introducing myself, is just like, so tell me what happened, to me, it's a big thing. Like I have to know. And I feel like,
no, it's a lot of times, sometimes they're really good stories.
yeah,
Yeah, but if they know, they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask.
yeah, that is true. That is true. So tell us, Ryan. So you went to you bought tools. You went to training.
Yeah.
You went back home, kept pushing, went back to training, started working. So then you went back home and just you figured get on your truck and just go look for work, or how did that unfold?
Exactly. Well, pretty much, yeah. So when I went for training, I quit my job, and that was that. And I knew I was 2 years teaching myself, and then I went for training, and that's when I quit my job. And I knew I had some savings, so I knew I was going to be fine for the next year. So I wasn't too stressed. I was able to get in there and take care of it, and just grow. And my main thing was really guarding my reputation. I didn't want to do any bad work early, because it's a small town. You do a bad dent early in your career, and that's your reputation. Driving around town, waving at people, So I really guarded my reputation. I only fixed dents I knew I could fix. And I rarely took on anything that I was questioning. And that worked out well for me.
Good.
Worked out well. You know, people, I didn't get a bad reputation. You know, that's a big thing.
Well, and I think it seemed like you planned this really well. You know, you had some money in the bank. You weren't really stressed.
Yeah.
You know, some of these guys that start these businesses hit the road running and don't really have a backup plan.
Right.
And they struggle. And that pressure of, I got to make money. I got to make money today. I got to make this much today. I got to make this much today. That hinders your repairs a lot of times, I feel. You know, I feel like it really puts so much pressure on you that you've got to rush to get this many cars done.
It is difficult, and it's still stressful. Like, I'm still, boy, I hope this all works out. I know I'm doing okay now, but who knows? You know, during the COVID thing, I almost left. I almost got a full-time job and
Really?
just forgot. Yeah, I was really close. And then this shop came available, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then the hail hit, and everything, you know, it just worked out. It just worked out. And I agree that people just get bogged down in life. You know, they need money. Life is stressful. It's hard.
Yeah.
But what do you think worked for you?
Oh, I don't know. I wanted it. I wanted it. And I was willing to drive an hour, 3 hours every day to get to Toronto just to hang out in a shop where I knew I probably wasn't going to make any money, but I was going to get to hang out there and push away. And it just, you know, it worked, and I wanted it, and I took it. So that's how it is.
That is the biggest thing in this. And I was talking to a new tech, and I'm not going to mention his name. And I said, you have to dedicate yourself to this career. This is not like nothing against mechanics or a detailer. This career is very different path than any career out there. You have to be 100% dedicated to it and dive in 100%.
So I'll tell you what. So when I very first started and I devoted myself to it, this might be a little weird for some guys hearing about this, but I broke up with my girlfriend. I stopped watching TV. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs. I stopped everything. Stopped playing music. All I did was I worked. I came home and pushed dents. I did that for 2 straight years.
Wow.
And I mean, yes, it's cuckoo. It's bizarre. But over the last year, I've opened back up. Now I've invited, you know, all that old stuff back into my life. Well, not all of it, but the positive stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's my whole life has changed. Everything's changed in my life now, and for the better, for much better. It's all about being happy.
I'm so happy for you, Ryan.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I've been watching Manny's career as well from the first time he came on with Ryan Shutt there. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Thank you. No, and I really mean it, because, you know, it's just like, I feel that we all have a story, you know, and it always just amazes me how Paintless dent repair, you know, changes people's life, like, you know, for the good, or if it doesn't change you, it helps you, you know. And but it also comes with hard work and dedication and perseverance, you know. And what you did, it takes a lot of, like they say, cojones, you know, like it takes a lot of
Well, a lot of people ask me, how did you do it? How did you make the leap? And I just sort of look at them and go, oh, okay, here's how I did it. And they're like, yeah, no thanks. You know, I'm not giving up my Sunday ice cream for that. So whatever works for me.
Yeah. And, you know, you can't buy that. It has to come from within, that you really, you want something and you're willing to do whatever it takes to. I always laugh when even people on TikTok is just like, man, I'll do anything to learn what you do. It's just like, all right, well, come visit me.
Exactly.
They never show up.
Yeah.
They never call.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like you're just not ready. You're just
Passion. True passion,
True passion. I had one guy and last year, young guy after high school, and he claimed that he would just love to work for me. He would do whatever it takes, And so his first day that he came in here, he was just going to hang out all day for me to teach him. I said, all right, well, your first project, I said, your car's kind of dirty, man. I'm like, why don't you just clean your car? I'm like, here's all the products. Here's the towels. Here's the wax. Here's everything that you got to use. I want to see how clean you could leave your car today. Nope. He couldn't detail his car. He couldn't touch it. He couldn't do anything. And he just wanted to talk and talk and talk. And that was it. Just like on its own showed no passion, no dedication. It's just like you can't buy that. So it's just like anytime someone tells me, just like, oh man, I want to do what you do, it's just like, what are you willing to give up for it?
Yeah, there's so many. Everybody had 2 years, the last 2 years, to drop what they were doing and learn something new. So there's no excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Although fixing dents ain't exactly the easiest thing in the auto industry. So
yeah, I think a lot of it is we have a lot of pride. We take pride in what we do, because if you just don't care, you're not going to make it in this business. You need to take pride in every repair and pride in how you handle your customer.
Yep.
If not, you're not going to make it. You're not.
Looking back at your career, Ryan, is there anything that you would have done different looking back, or do more of or less of? Ryan number two.
I don't know. I'm in a good place right now.
That's good.
I would have liked to have been in a good place sooner. So I would say I could have worked harder. But the truth is I couldn't have worked harder. I worked really hard to get where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Everything has its perfect timing, I always feel.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's on
My
your
answer to that question is cocaine and hookers.
Right. So what's in your tool set for you? What's your go-to tools?
Lately? Well, I showed you the stain liner. I just picked up the hub set, both the blades and the sharp picks. And I'm really enjoying those. You know what? My 30-inch double bend is like one of my favorite tools. I can't get away from it. I just got the.
Is that the double bend from like Ultra or like
Finesse, from Finesse Tools?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Finesse.
Yeah. And I just picked up. So during the hailstorm, I worked with. I was doing a lot of roofs and a lot of glue pulling on all the roofs and a lot of Honda roofs. And I went from a bunch of different knockdowns, tried everything. And I ended up, the happiest I've ever been with a knockdown is with the Dead on Dent Pee-wee knockdown. That thing is amazing. Yeah. I mean, wow, what a great knockdown. I'm sorry I didn't have that knockdown, Manny, for the last 6 years. That's what I'm sorry.
You know what's funny? You say that is just that my first 3-4 years, it was that struggling to find the right knockdown.
Yeah.
I struggled, and finally about what was it, like 3-4 years ago, I finally found the knockdown that just like it's I can't live without, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I feel that like the first years every PDR goes through that, just finding the right hammer, the right knockdown, and the right blending hammer. How about blending hammers? You have
So I've never learned how to use a blending hammer.
Okay.
The guys, Marty, who trained me, he's a knockdown guy, and he's very, very good with the knockdown, very fast. And I've never actually seen someone in person use a blending hammer. So I don't really know. I want to get into it. That's my next big step for PDR is really getting into rail blending and whatnot, and understanding it a bit more with the hammer.
All you trainers out there, I said this last year, there needs to be a really good class on teaching blending.
Yep.
And there isn't.
A lot of them don't know how to blend, though. Ah! Oh, all the dent tech trainers are going to be upset at me. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So what's your future plans for Peacocks? What's your game plan here? Or you don't have one, and that's fine too.
I don't have one. I just want to be happy. You know, I just want to carry on with having a lot of laughs and enjoying life. That's where I'm at right now. Everything seems to be going in the right road, the right direction, and I'm just happy it's going that way. So awesome. That's where I'm going.
That's the right attitude, right? You know, I say that because here at the shop, being busy is just like some clients will walk in and they'll tell me that, like, you know, don't you want more work? It's just like, no, man, I'm good. Like, life is good. Like, I'm happy. I'm enjoying life. You know what I mean? Like, I have work and I'm happy. You know, just exactly. Why would I want to take all this work and, you know, stress myself out? It's just like, there's no need.
Well, one of the nice things about being in the shop now is having a shop, and I'm the only PDR shop within 100 kilometers or more. So one of the nice things is that one day it will hail here in my area, and I'm going to have a ton of work. So that's the one thing I'm also looking forward to. One of these days it's going to hail big here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you're ready.
Yeah. And I'll be ready for it.
And you know what? It's going to happen on its perfect timing.
Yeah. I mean, the Toronto hail was fantastic. I can't complain about it.
So for like any new tech out there that, you know, it's kind of been in your steps, what's that one advice that you'll tell to anyone?
Put a lot of time in before you go for training. Make sure you get one-on-one training, and fix a dent every day. That's what Marty Carallo from Auto Dent told me when I was leaving there. He said, make sure you fix a dent every day, and you'll constantly improve. You don't see the improvement, but you are. It just takes so much time to level up. It's dedicate yourself. Yeah. Throw all those old stuff out. Just dive right in.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
I'm so glad that you said yes when I asked you to come on the show.
That's awesome.
Cheers.
I was like, this dude, like I said, you've been watching. I've been watching. I was like, I got to get him on. He's got a new shop. He presents himself really well. I was like, I'm doing it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the acknowledgement. Yeah.
It's just, it's so cool because, you know, so many people is just like, they know that it's great money and they'll fall for everything else.
Yeah.
But except to be happy and love what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many miserable people out there. And, you know, if I was attracted to being a dentist, I'd be a dentist. If I wanted to be something else, I could be something else. This is what I want to do. And I love fixing dents. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it is, man. And you know what else is nice is this community of people. You know, like I called John when I called him this week, and he's like, "Bro, I can't believe you're calling me." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" He's like, "I really appreciate this." And I was like, "Bro, we're just people. I went through some shit with it. I know how to explain it. That's what we're here for." And that's anybody in here. I get calls all the time from people, and I'm like, "Who is this?" They're like, "Oh, this is George." And I'm like, hey man, what's going on? You know, that's what this is about. Is
Yeah.
the reason we do this show is so this 40 people that are watching can build that relationship and be able to call and say, what stand liner was Ryan talking about?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's here for.
I
and
try
when people
not
are having a hard time.
Yeah. I try not to take up too much of that goodwill. I'm saving it for when I really need it. Hey man, I got a question for you, buddy.
Hey, I just wanted to say, talking about this show, you guys know that you guys could vote for this show for PDR show of the year at the MTE.
Where do we go to vote?
MTE.com.
MTE.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyone
really
watching,
important.
please guys help us
Cool.
win the PDR podcast, at least just for this year.
There's some really good shows out there. There really are now. So it's been
I don't have time to watch the other shows though, so there's no time for the other shows.
Typical Dent guy. Never has time. Never
Well, I
has
feel bad
time.
because I watched a lot of Ryan's episodes with Manny and from before and from the other group as well.
Yeah.
And what I found now is that over the last year, I don't have time. I don't have time to sit down and turn it on for an hour and watch it. And especially live, that's generally where I want to watch it. And I'm just sleeping. I'm falling asleep at 8:30 now. It's
You're getting old, man. I'm the same way. It's like
too busy.
What time you start your day? What time are you up?
I'm up at 3:30, but I know I'm just a weirdo. And I'm my day started by 4:30 or 5. I'm already on it.
Does the sun come out
No,
earlier in Canada?
I know I'm a total weirdo. I
your
mentioned
accounts are open.
no, but my shop is open. My parents live on have a farm, so I'm constantly going to the farm early in the morning and taking care of things, and then spending the rest of my day chasing dents.
Oh, so that hasn't stopped. So you are serious about you grew up in a farm?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's great.
I mean, can you tell us about it in like a minute?
And for sure, it's a dog farm. So it's a hunting farm, and we breed dogs, English Springer Spaniels, the field breed, and the company's name is SpringvilleSpringers.com. And that's what we do. We train a lot of hunting, a lot of breeding, and so we've always got the 8 to 12 dogs, and then we've got bird pens and no goats, but I'd like to get a goat one day.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
work. It's good.
You should get a peacock.
I should, but they're vicious little things, right? Vicious things. So they're nasty birds to be around.
Oh man.
Man, that is so cool, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
so cool.
How can people find you on social media?
Oh, Peacock's Dents. Peacock's Dents or Peacock's Paintless Dent Repair. Instagram and Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, bud.
Hey.
I was excited for this show. I was like, this is going to be a good one.
Right on.
Are you coming out to MTE?
I'm not. No, the whole COVID thing is just too weird, especially in Canada. It's just all weird. The flights and everything. I'm not taking the chance.
Yeah, I think a lot of the international stuff, a lot of people aren't coming for that.
Yeah, it's
you just don't know.
No, and it's all weird up here. It's all weird up here. So, and I don't really get involved with it. I just I don't focus on any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get down to MT for sure.
Nice.
Next year.
Not happening this year. Yeah, next year.
Well, Ryan, thank you again. You have a fantastic evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Ryan.
Thank you, Manny. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Great
Cheers.
story. Thanks for sharing that.
Talk to you later, guys.
See you, buddy.
See you, Ryan. Bye.
Awesome story. You know,
I love it, man. I think, you know, every PDR guy has a story,
Mhm.
you know, and I love listening to everyone's story, you know, how they came about to do paintless dent repair, and listening to Ryan's story, just him giving up everything
Yeah.
and just pursuing something that he really wants. That's passion, man. That takes a
100%.
lot. That takes a lot. You know, there's some of us that can't stop doing one thing, you know, because we're so weak minded, you know, and you get a guy like that that leaves everything, you know, and just goes after one thing that he wants to do and goes 100%, you know, and you have that saying, just keep pushing, you
Yeah.
know, and that's kind of, you know, what this industry built us, you know, to just keep striving, man, keep pushing. And
I really, like I said in the show, it's all, this is all in what you put in it. Like, if you put 100%, you're going to get 100% out of it. And it's hard. This job is not easy. And if
Yeah.
you tell me it is, Bryce Kelly, if you tell me your job is easy, you are lying. But, you know, I just, it's hard. You know, it is every day. You make one bad push, it's done. There's no going back and fixing it. Even though
Yeah.
you spend 3 hours on it, and mentally you're like, I got 3 hours in this car. Here we go back to the pressure of, I got to make money. Every minute counts. And you made a bad push. And what do?
Yeah.
This job, another key thing that nobody really talks about is you need to be a problem solver on the fly.
Mm.
You need to problem solve every minute of every dent, because you get in there and you're pushing and you're feeling that crown. Okay. You know, like Benny Miracle was here a couple years ago, and I'm pushing and I'm knocking and I'm pushing and I'm knocking. He's like, "Why are you knocking?" I'm like, "Well, I'm knocking the crown." He's like, "Okay." Well, I would push through it and then knock the crown down. That's how I do it. And I was like, "Yeah, try this." And then ever since then, he's like, "Man, that was the best thing you've ever taught me." And I'm like, it's problem solving, figuring it out to, you know, what works the best for you. And your way of doing it isn't the same as my way of doing it.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to shift on demand in our job. And some people don't have that skill.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is just like, man, we never stop learning, because I was working on that Mini yesterday, and it was funny because I kept trying every tool, Ryan. I kept trying every tool, and I would just sit there just like, dude, there's nothing that's working. I'm like, how am I going to get this dent? And then all it took is for me to flip my light, go from the another angle, use the same tool that I was using, and then now from a different angle, I was all over the dent. And it was just like, wow. You know, sometimes you just got to like shift it, you know, just think from a different perspective, think from a different angle.
I usually get up and walk outside. Like, I was working on that Tesla, and Mikey was helping me because it was a extremely challenging dent. Like, I really didn't want to fix it. And I get up, and Mike was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Going outside." He's like, "What?" And I walked down to the end of the street, and I turned around, walked back in, fixed the dent.
Yeah.
It just is, sometimes you just got to step away,
Yeah.
clear the mind, come back, wham, bam.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll never forget the day that Don Kavanaugh said on one of the MTE Dent Olympics, he was just like, I was telling him to like step in the ring, you know, and he was just like, no, it's just like, if you want me to do that, then better leave it here till tomorrow. He says, I'll work on it tonight. I'll work on a little bit tonight, go home, sleep, come back the next morning, finish that up. And it was just like, I never knew what that was like until now, you know, kind of like what we're saying, just like we work a dent, go home or go for a walk, whatever, come back, and you're good. Something that you can't do at a client's house. You know, you can't just stop working the client's car in the garage, go to your truck and just hang out for like 10 minutes and then come back in. You know, it's just like that would look more weird than, you're Ryan, man. Do whatever you want. Oh, man.
Well, Manny, it was another great night. I know these
Yeah,
guys
man.
are tired. You got
Thanks
to get
ag-
back to work.
Yeah, got this.
You know,
Still got a bunch of dents on this side there to finish up.
Is
Rest
that
of it,
what is that thing?
it's a 3 series.
Okay.
It's glue
Okay.
pulling for the rest of the night, so it should
Fun.
be fun.
Fun.
Yeah, thanks Ryan for sharing your story, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a
Dents.
it was a good one, man. It was I enjoyed it, and I was excited to get him on just because I know he's been watching and he's been growing. I've watched his little show, his little store open up, and it's been nice.
See, and the same way that you wanted to watch his shop, that's how we all want to watch what you're doing at your shop
Tomorrow.
too.
I'm
Thanks.
excited. We're getting there.
Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, vote for us. Vote for us.
Manny, have a fantastic night. You guys have
And
a
if you guys are
fantastic
going to
night.
go compete at MTE, don't forget I'm coming through.
And
Just
they're
kidding.
only allowing blonde hair.
Just kidding. Thanks, Ryan, for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Be safe out there. Wash your damn hands. See ya. This is
Keep pushing.
2022, baby. Keep pushing. Keep it real. See you next week. Thanks,
See
guys.
you guys. Thank you.